Uh, one thing that wepa, haha, uh, this camera. Okay, um, real estate, real estate market, interest rates, have gone up. They're expecting that they are going to increase again. That's been the talk. As far as the at least in my limited understanding, um, it seems like maybe the increase isn't necessary. Um, of course, I am a in the lending world, and I don't get paid any extra when interest rates are higher. So the lower the better. Come on, let's bring them back down to zero. But that's not realistic, and that's a couple of points I want to make in this video. Number one, having interest rates at or near zero is not normal. Okay. Um, it's not normal. I know that it's been the case essentially since the awful things that happened back in 2001. Um, if you remember that. Uh 2001, right? Yeah, 2001. So it was after that, but if you remember, which I do, because again, in the lending space in one form or another since I was 18, 19 years old. But back then I was in the automotive industry, and the deal, I was at a Honda store, John Holt's Honda in Rochester, New York. All right. Yeah, John, Big John was awesome. He said, "Hey, they don't come in for cat Sergeant Garcia." He used to call me Sergeant Garcia. I don't even know who Sergeant Garcia was. It was I don't know, some a character from MASH, I think. The guy was hilarious. Um, so anyways, 3.9 for 36 months, 4.9 for 48 months, and 5.9% for 60 months. Those were the subvented manufacturer special interest rates that were just, that's what will go on radio, on TV. We have these insane deals. 5.9%. Come get it before we change our mind. So, having interest rates near zero, that's not normal. That's what's not normal. Um, and I'm not trying to convince you to take, that I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm just stating a fact that if you look at, you know, f- beyond, if you look beyond what it's been for the last couple of decades, um, and you look at interest rates as a whole, they've never, again, record lows. It's just they could only go up. Number one. Number two, I know that we've seen in a spike in real estate values. Um, and there is a lot of talk, a lot of comparisons that are now starting to come out between what's going on now and what happened back in 2008. It's just that to me, it doesn't make sense in my head. It just doesn't make it how, I mean, yes, in both times back then and now, the value of properties, went up. And they were hovering bubble-ish, a bubble. But what is fueling this bubble and what was fueling that bubble, two completely different worlds, man. Two completely different worlds. The likelihood that we will experience anything like 2008, um I mean, in my mind, it is incredibly low because the fundamentals are completely different. Back then, people that definitely did not and could not afford homes were buying multiple, multiple houses. I mean, you had, you know, uh, people who were barely making over minimum wage and they had 5 or 6 properties. You know, there was and I have experience directly in the mortgage industry um with one of the worst companies around. It was Ameriquest Mortgage Company, and if you're in the mortgage industry, I mean, it was, yeah, yeah. So, but and they grabbed me as a young pup, fresh out. You know, I was a finance guy in the car business at 22, and they grabbed me at 22, and I just wanted to move to Miami and you know, get into real estate. And they you know, they just taught me. They taught me sort of their method. If you Boiler Room, okay? You ever seen the movie Boiler Room? It was Boiler Room, but for mortgages. And I met some great people, and some incredibly talented people, incredibly talented in mortgages. Initially, I was not. I was okay. It was my first time not being face to face with people and being on the phone, and that took some adjusting for me. You know, I mean, I like being face to face with people. Um, I'm babbling. What? Oh, okay. So yeah. So back then, people were just anybody with a heartbeat was getting a mortgage, and that's just not the case now. The fundamentals uh, of the real estate industry are a lot more solid. There are right now a lot of cash deals, like in the recent spike in the hotter areas around the country. um, a lot of cash deals, a lot of people paying, you know, over list for cash deals, and that's a lot of like, you know, in my mind, I don't this part I'm not 100% sure of, but what I think more than likely is retirees or people that due to COVID-19 decided to retire early. Then they wanted to move, you know, to whatever area of the country, be it Tampa, or, you know, Tampa or South Florida, or, you know, Texas, one of the other places, or one of the other places around the country that's like really booming. So the likelihood of the same type of implosion in the real estate market is highly unlikely. Um, we're not going to continue to see in my mind, I do not believe that we are going to continue to see the um continued spike in real estate prices. But I think just about everybody, even non-real estate people, would agree with me on that. The market is going to cool, and we can expect inventory levels to increase a little bit, but you know, that's all assumptions, you know, and guesses. Uh, yeah. So yeah, I don't believe that it's anywhere near the same. The fundamentals are a lot more solid now compared to 2008. There's not the crazy mortgages that are going on, and just anybody with a heartbeat, like the really, and especially since I was in the mortgage industry. And then back when I was in it before, you didn't need a license. I mean, I just like I just called up a net branch, and they're like, hey, you know, I was working with Ameriquest, but they're a bunch of crooks, so I want to do it on my own. And they're like, all right, yeah, boom, and they sent me everything that I needed, and I mean, no license, no nothing, just, you know, they're like, all right, go ahead, kid, you know, you're a mortgage broker now. So now everything is a lot more regulated. The checks and balances that they put in place for mortgage lenders and mortgage brokers are I mean, everything is different. The compensation is different, which I actually like. So one thing in the compensation, and it might be a little tacky, but it speaks to how they've tried to change the motivation um of the mortgage professional. So back in the day, before the meltdown, um you could charge junk fees, and junk fees go straight in your pocket. You could, if you could have two different prices for two different consumers, just whatever you could get away with. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people really took advantage of that. So if a certain borrower, they might charge them 5 points, and another borrower, they would be a lot more conservative. Now they uh mortgage professionals cannot, you cannot get paid on junk fees. Loan originators, you cannot get paid on junk fees. So if there are a bunch of junk fees that you slid in because this person didn't notice or whatever, can't get paid on it. So the motivation to do that is not there anymore. Now, of course, are there people that are going to skirt the law? Yeah, even in hunting for this job, follow the law. Okay, just follow the law. Follow the law, and you won't get called out. Yeah, but yeah, the unfortunate motivation, man, is to try and just skirt every law at every turn. Long story short, you can only practice in states that you are licensed if you're closing residential mortgages. There's no going around not being licensed in a certain state. You can't partner with somebody else and have them give you some of the money. There can't be like another person in the company that is licensed and wink, wink. That no, you can't do that. Then if you engage in those practices, well, at least I'm not going to work for you, because it's only a matter of time. In any case, yeah, I'll have to redo this one. So I guess it was just a chat with me, because it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was all ready to get a bunch of stuff done, and the game's done changed, man. Oh my God, it's gonna be amazing. We're gonna be able to process business lines of credit, SBA loans, in just a fraction of the time. So I'm very excited about that. And hey, all right, well, thank you very much. And we'll talk soon. I'm gonna be pumping out videos. I'm gonna be putting out a lot of content. So it just because I'm doing outreach, and if people are searching for me, I'm not a guy that I'm not gonna I don't hide. I'm right here, So I'm right here. Yeah, I'm not hard to find. I'm above board. I'm open. I'm transparent. I love what I do. I can do what I say I can, and I execute. And I don't play games, man. I love this. I love this, and it's a lot of fun, but it's not a game. All right. Anyways, have a great one. We'll be in touch soon, and